The media and gaming developers have been melting down over Gamergate 2 for the past few weeks. They cannot fathom the idea that consumers are willing to speak with their wallets and not support companies that are making content they don't agree with. And now a global game marketer at Xbox has made a pretty racist tweet, and then of course she has hidden and locked herself behind a protected account because of the backlash she was facing. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, of course, yes, she has protected her X/Twitter account. She ran and hid as soon as she started facing backlash, and she did actually try to cover her tracks and before that delete the tweets that she made, and then she tried to, give reasoning as to what she said and said, oh, you guys just misunderstood what I was trying to post, but that didn't work because the internet is forever and everything you do or say, especially when you work at a company like Xbox, is going to be archived, it's going to be screenshotted, and it's still going to circulate the internet. I'm going to reference the Smash JT article on the situation just because all of the tweets are compiled. The first tweet that she made that started all of this was, raise your hand if you're not a white man and you buy video games. No hate to white dudes. It's just another day in the gaming industry that minorities have to fight to prove they exist. But clearly it is hate to white dudes because you are saying that white dudes are, infiltrating the industry, right? The industry only caters to white dudes. That is hate towards white dudes because you're saying, oh, you're the problem with the industry, which of course is not the case at all whatsoever. Over the past few years, we have seen a rise in the gaming industry's inclusivity inside of the industry. Never mind if you really look at what she's saying, where she says it's just another day in the gaming industry that minorities have to fight to prove they exist, but that is not the case at all whatsoever. In 2023, there was 226.6 million video game players in the United States, and while yes, in the United States, roughly 71% of those people are Caucasian, that's still 10% Hispanic, 8% African American, 7% Asian, and the United States is not the largest gaming market. There's an estimated 568 million gamers in India as of 2023. China has the most gamers of all countries, with an estimated 744 million as of 2022. Roughly 71% or over 35 million people in South Korea play games on a regular basis. And if we circle back to gender that she of course brings up, 46% of gamers in the United States are women. And yes, I understand there's a good percentage of this number that are women just playing mobile games and they're not playing console or PC titles, but they're still playing games on an electronic device, so they count. And while 46% isn't quite a perfect 50-50 split, it's really close, and if you're trying to go to bat for inclusivity, that should be a number you're proud to see, having so many women who play video games and are interested in this hobby, and there have always been women that have been interested in the gaming sphere, and I'm so sick of the narrative that, oh, there were not women, playing or creating video games 20 or 30 years ago, because that just isn't the case, plain and simple. And of course, she went on to freak out as people were bringing up what she was saying and trying to call her out for her, very bad take. Savvy Artist had said, why did you feel the need to phrase the tweet like this? Can't you just say, raise your hand if you like games? Are you aware the largest demographic of gamers is Asian, not white men? What fight is happening today? Yeah, she does not say, what fight is happening or what she's even really referring to. She just decided to make a statement, and that was that. And her response to Savvy was, I know the demographic information isn't accurate. I never said it was. So it's fine if we completely disregard facts in order to push the narrative. That's what she's saying, because that's exactly what she's doing. That's what her post is admitting to. This is absurd, and this is why you cannot blindly trust people on social media who say all of these statistics. Like me, I'm getting my statistics from several sources, but they exist online. You can easily find them, but she provides absolutely no information as to what she's spewing. And she also went on to say, I deleted my last tweet because it was poorly worded, lacked context, and didn't accurately reflect how I feel. I mean, it was really poorly worded. She's saying that, okay, lacked context. Yeah, that's definitely true, and didn't accurately reflect how she felt, but she still felt confident enough in it to post it in the first place, which is why it just seems like she's trying to, backtrack and maybe stop the backlash, but that didn't happen. The gaming industry is incredibly diverse, and the more voices we have creating, watching, and playing games, the better. There is room for everyone. And I had actually made a tweet saying, if she, the global game marketer at Xbox, had simply said there's room for everyone in the gaming industry, I would be 100% supportive of that statement. Most people would be. But she only said that after denigrating white men and pushing this victimhood mentality. How pathetic. That is what all of these people do, is they constantly push this victimhood mentality. They always want to make themselves the center of attention and say, poor me, and poor minorities, poor women. It does not matter, because they're always going to find someone that they can relate to and say, oh, we are actually the victims, which is just so absurd. And it's why I just cannot trust these people and why I cannot defend them. She also then decided to protect her X account because she cannot take the heat. I always say this: if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. And if you really feel like you are going to face backlash for a post, don't post it. It's just that simple. But she probably thought her roughly 6,000 followers were going to come to her defense, and all of the people she knows at Xbox were going to, signal boost this post, which definitely did not happen. She was getting absolutely ratioed, and also this article does reference my tweet, which is really cool. But it's just so disappointing to see someone who works at such a large company decide to come out and push this narrative and even admit that, well, I don't have any evidence to back up what I'm saying. I'm just saying what I'm feeling, because the way that she presented her, call it an argument in the first post, even though these people don't want to have arguments or discussions with people they disagree with, she straight up said clearly how she felt. I mean, she can say all she wants that, it was poorly worded, you guys misunderstood what I'm saying, but clearly that's how she felt, that white men are, the vast majority of gamers and people in the gaming industry, and minorities are overlooked and they have to fight to prove they exist. But we're also talking about somebody who works at Xbox who does have diversity quotas. I mean, just a few days ago, I even had to talk about how Microsoft published a new inclusion guide for video game developers, recommending against creating female characters with exaggerated body proportions. So not only are they, questionably hiring people, I think that the best person for the job should get the job. And if that happens to be a woman or a person of color, that's perfectly fine. That's great. I hope that they get the job. They deserve the job. But we have seen companies who are hiring just based on, DEI and ESG corporate trends. But we also were seeing companies like Microsoft publishing inclusion guides so that video games are also diverse and inclusive to the max. And diversity and inclusivity are not inherently bad things. The problem is when there are companies pushing these things into video games unnaturally. That is the problem that I have. They're only doing it to follow corporate trends, and it is so disappointing to see. So it will be interesting, to watch this unfold and see if she actually makes any other statements from behind her locked account. That's typically what happens, is they lock down their account and then one of their followers decides to screenshot it and post it, and yeah, things don't go well for them. But as of right now, this global game marketer at Xbox definitely has spoken her mind, and she has gotten absolutely wrecked for her very bad take on social media. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.